Welcome back, everyone. So I've been a little lazy when it comes to my computer videos. I got stuff we need to catch up on. Just stuff we gotta get to. But before we get to those items, like for example, just today I picked up a couple of things from a local collector. Well, not a collector, but he resells. He's not a collector, but I picked up a few things, and when I was there, I grabbed something from his inventory that I actually have been kind of looking for some time. And you probably just got a glimpse of it, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So what I have here is the original equipment trackball. That these were included with every compact Contora. Either, I don't know if this was an optional accessory or if it was standard equipment, but this is the custom-made trackball for the Contora 4 and 3 series. That's the 386 and the 486. The first generation Contour. The second generation had a built-in trackball. These are getting hard to come by in good condition. I really got lucky with this one. So the trackball essentially comes apart, and it's in two pieces. This clips on to the keyboard, and then this would sit on your desk if you wanted to use it stationary, like on a desk. So it fits nicely in the palm of your hand. It's actually quite a nice piece of equipment. And then this little attachment clips onto the edge of your keyboard, left or right-handed, just like that. It's a really nice accessory to have for the Contora, but it might look familiar because it is also made by Logitech. So Logitech custom manufactured those for compacts, but they also produced one that you could buy retail for really any computer that you had or any laptop that you had. See, you got to understand, if some of you younger viewers might not have been around at this time, but there was a time when computer laptops did not have built-in mouse pointing devices. It was a time when laptops didn't have trackballs, trackpads, nothing. One such example would be this Toshiba T3200SX from 1989. And this was made at a time when Windows was kind of a luxury. This computer would have been, when it was new, it would have been used from the command line almost entirely. And then you would have had the option to install Windows 3.0. It would have been 3.0 at that point. And then, 3.1, sorry. Windows 3.1 came along later in the game, and then you would add a mouse to it. But for those laptops that did not have built-in pointing devices, you could buy something like this, and this is just happens to be new in box. I just picked this up. I paid $15 for this, which is crazy. I thought it was going to charge me more, but it still has a 3-year guarantee, so I think we're good. New in box. Now, this one was produced later on in the game. Windows 95 is advertised. But I can tell you that this particular product dates back to the early 90s, probably 91, 92. But again, this would have been the ultimate companion for your laptop that did not have a built-in pointing device. And I happen to look at the keyboard that's shown in the package, and it looks very similar to the Toshiba keyboard on this one, on this portable. And I think it might actually be a Toshiba portable. I don't know if anyone can identify that keyboard, but it has the same basic shape. Oh, maybe not. No, I guess not. It's got a little bit of a recess there. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and open this up on camera for the first time. Now, this copyright, this is definitely made after 95 or 94. It says 1994. Logitech. But like I said, this particular product has been around, or was definitely released long before 1994. This one just happens to have the Windows 95 drivers included. So let's look at the box real quick. This is a Windows 3.1 mouse control panel right there. It's got a middle button, a bottom button, so it's a 2-button mouse. 3 actually, although I do believe that, does it function as a 3-button? Or is that just like a macro feature? I think it's a macro feature. But it's identical to this one. As a matter of fact, you could take the software that came with, I'm going to put this, by the way, on my Compact Contora 425, just so I have it. Because it'll enable some of the features and functions that are in this one that aren't in the standard mouse driver. Now, this also includes a serial adapter, which is what I need. Can you imagine a laptop? Whoa, it smells basement-y fresh. Let's take a look at this thing. It goes this way. All right, so let's see what we got here. I've kind of been looking for one of these for a long time, but never really serious enough to go out and spend the money. I wonder if this registration card is still eligible to be sent in. Wouldn't that be something? So it's got, inside of the box, we've got, it's brand new, guys. New in box. I hope I have a serial adapter. It actually might not have one. Oh, it does say it on the package. Serial and mouse port version for right or left hand. Okay, yeah. Yeah, look at that. Brand new. Look at this. It's got a textured finish. It's stiff as all fuck. Wow. Now, this right here, this comes off. This snaps off if you want to flip it around for left-handed operation. Now, I am left-handed, but I've always used trackballs with my right hand. Unless it's on the, no, in a weird way, the trackballs, like for example, the PowerBook 100 series, I've always used it with my left hand. But for some reason, I find, oh, this is strange. Left-handed people aren't normal, and I'm no exception. Okay, here is the clip-on. And here is the accessory serial. I'm probably not going to save the box because I'm not a box collector, but I will save the all the other stuff that came with it. But this is brand new, 1994. This is 31 years old. 31 years old. Unbelievable. That clips on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and attach the serial adapter. So I've been using this laptop, or this portable, with a standard mouse for some time. So this is spring-loaded. And we'll just, ooh, it's so tight. Ooh. It's very tight. Okay, here we go. Does it clip on? There we go. It clips on. You just scratch the paint. Oh no, I thought I scratched the paint. It's just a shit. All right. Yeah, it clips on. It fits. Okay. Wouldn't that suck? I really did. Just the way the shadow hit it. Now, can I close the lid? Probably not. Nope, you can close the lid too. All right, let's take the mouse systems mouse off. Now this has the mouse systems driver installed, but we're going to put the Logitech serial mouse driver instead. That'll give us some control panel add-ons and some cool stuff. Yes, there was a time when you actually, in your typical PC, you would have had either a serial mouse, PS2 mouse. This doesn't seem to fit in the, there we go, it's very tight, there we go. Brand new from 1994. Okay, so your typical computer would have had a serial port mouse, a PS2 mouse, or a bespoke mouse interface. The Microsoft Import mouse is one such example. Now, the compact version of this would match this computer better, but that's another thing. In 1994, most laptops shipped in beige. All right. Fire this guy up. So I bought this particularly for the Toshiba. That's why I bought it. Not for any other computer. I bought it for the Toshiba. Because why not? Alright. So let's get her started up. And we'll load the driver. I'm sure the disk is still readable. But I want to be able to use that mouse for all of its features and quirks. I don't know what it is, but I think my my plasma display has actually gotten brighter. Strangely, it has improved on its own. I left it running for a while, so this already works. So what I want to do, let's just unclip it here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take this ball off here. There we go. There's probably some buildup on the sapphire. There's little sapphire bearings in there. Okay, this doesn't have those. The compact version has sapphires that the ball sits in. But we'll just go ahead and the ball has to be completely polished for it to ride smoothly on the track. So let's put that back in. All right, that's a little better. That's going to be fine. Okay, so we'll just put this little ring on. Yes, you had to clean your balls when you used a mouse like this regularly. So we'll put that on like that. Okay, now let's get the let's take a look at our user guide. Look at all this. Oh, what is this? Fall 1996. Well, that tells us kind of how old this is. This is a late production. This is from like 95. So, okay. Look at all these accessories. TrackMan Portable, that's what we have here. TrackMan Live, advanced radio technology, control presentations from up to 30 feet from the system. Never need to point TrackMan Live at the computer. They got Page Scan Color Pro with ADF, ScanMan. I remember these little handheld scanners. MouseMan. I remember these MouseMan mice. They were kind of ugly, I thought, but they were ergonomic. They kind of looked like, they reminded me of like a steak, you know. Cordless MouseMan Pro, MouseMan 96, MouseMan Bus. Here we go. Here's a bus mouse. This would have come. Yeah, look at this. It's the MouseMan Bus mouse. Now this is a mouse you would have bought if you had an XT or an AT class machine, think about like a Pentium 1 or a 486. And you didn't have a PS2 port. You would have bought this. It came with an interface card. I would actually pick one of those up if I could find one. The Wingman joystick series. They got the TrackMan, which is a desktop trackball. This takes me back. Oh, this is awesome. You got the instructions, a cardboard insert, comfort guidelines, a little bit of a pamphlet on how to use it. Cyber Jump and Hyper Jump addendum for Logitech pointing devices. Let's go ahead and install the software. Now, this should work. It's from 1996. All right, I'm going to open this up. I know I'm committing crimes. These were sealed in plastic, so they should be okay. So let's go ahead and run the setup. The reason it works is because we already have a mouse driver on here. It's the just a universal serial mouse driver. This is going to replace that driver. So we're going to do setup.exe. But like I said, the display on this computer is actually brighter now. I don't know what's changed, but it does seem a little bit more vibrant than it was when I first got this machine. I think putting it to use has actually, in a way, helped. So this will install, I believe, both the Windows and the DOS files. This is a nice find. It really is. If you happen to find one of these, they are cool. Pick one up. If you see one at a flea market, a yard sale, or on eBay cheap, pick one up, especially if you collect vintage laptops, because they are the ultimate pointing device and they're comfortable to use. In desktop mode, you just snap this little base off like this. I have one here. And yeah, like I was demonstrating earlier, it just sits on the desktop just like that. And you can use it. That's why it's detachable. And Compaq really got lucky with this because you know what? Okay, the Compaq one doesn't have sapphires either. So I had an older version of this. I know for a fact it had little red sapphires supporting the ball. But hey, I could be wrong. I think I'm wrong. Setup is initializing. I wonder what's taking us so long. All right. And another thing, it's interesting to note that this computer was already 7 years old by the time this mouse was made. There it goes. What are the requirements? Let's see. Windows 3.1 for sure. Let's see. PC or DOS 3.3 or later. That's all it says. So it doesn't really specify. There is a 5¼ inch disc and a 25-pin serial connector available, which is nuts. I couldn't imagine. Custom setup. Let's see. Now we have unlimited hard disk space because I've upgraded the drive on this machine, so it's much bigger than it would have had from the factory. So it's actually removing the existing mouse driver, I see. So it sees that there's already a driver there and it's saying, no sir. New hotness. Look at that. This Toshiba is one of my prized pieces. It really is. There are a couple of machines in my collection that are what I consider to be permanent pieces of the collection and will never be sold. Toshiba's one of them because it took me so long to find one, especially in this condition. And then I killed it, and I was able to find enough parts to put it back together again. The power supply had failed, unfortunately, and I had to replace it with another one that somebody had already recapped. I don't know why the power supply failed. I still have it, but I still don't know what happened to it. It just will not light up at all, no matter what I do. But let's see what else is in this. So the user's guide should have some information on how to properly use. Oh, this is pretty generic. It's basically for all the mouse products. Let's see. Yeah, this is just a generic instruction guide. I guess print one guide for all, and TrackMan Voyager and TrackMan Portable. And it shows you how to remove the button and flip it around for left to right hand use. And it has you actually attaching the TrackMan to the keyboard before you attach the trackball. All right, now I'm going to reboot. Take the disk out of the drive. Yeah, this has all of the Logitech products or mouse products available for that time period. Yeah. All right, let's make sure that that driver loads properly. I don't want any errors. Logitech driver, there it is. Found the drive. Yeah, you can't escape. Fall 1990. I remember the fall of 96 too. I also remember the fall of the Roman Empire. Just kidding. But no, the fall of 96 would have put me in... What grade would I have been in then? About 6th grade, actually. Or no, that would have been 7th, I think. And you know what's ironic? That was actually, I believe, the year that I got my Toshiba T3200SX. No joke. Yeah, I got mine in November of 96, as a matter of fact. So, that's ironic. Yep. My dad... let me track... So, I was calling up local computer shops looking for another computer that I could buy, you know, with whatever money I had saved up, like 20 bucks. And so I found this local used computer shop, and I'm like, hi, I'm just a 12-year-old kid or whatever. I'm like, I need a computer. And, you know, what do you have, like, you know, that's cheap? And he's like, well, I got these Toshiba T3200s, 50 bucks each. And my dad came home from work, and I'm like, Dad, can we go buy a computer? And by the way, I need you to lend me 50 bucks. And him and my mom were like, you know what, let's just give it to him. So they did. And I bought a T3200SX portable. Anyway, enough of that. Set orientation. Says roll the trackball until the balloon reaches the clouds. Let me zoom in so you can see what I'm doing here. Let's do that. I can't do much about the banding, but yeah, the fall of 96. That was, like I said, that was when I got my here we go. So let's do the so move the, oh, I did it wrong. So I'm setting it. So what it's doing is it's aligning the trackballs. Oh, now it's backwards. Press O on your keyboard or click Set Orientation. Oh. Roll the trackball up until the balloon reaches the clouds. I don't know why that's not working. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Okie dokie. So, set buttons. Press and release the button you wish to use as the primary button. Okay. Yeah, we did that. Oh, the secondary button. Oh, that's going to be this little button up here. There we go. Third button set. Let's do that again. Press and release the button you wish to use as primary. Secondary. Okay. It didn't ask me about the B button. Of the third button. Acceleration, middle button unassigned. How about we do... How about double click? So if I click the third button, Oh, bottom button is double click, middle button is... One, two, okay. Bottom button should be double click. Middle button should be... I don't know. Let's cancel that. I think I screwed this up. Forgive me. So that worked for double click, but I need the secondary button to be... So I guess the two buttons are linked together. No, because it can identify. Okay, what the hell? All right, let's try this again. Quick setup. Set buttons. Yeah, primary, secondary. Okay. Middle button. Bottom button is double click, middle button is unassigned. And the bottom one is double click. So that works. And if I close that, I should be able to use the middle button or the bottom button. Okay, that opens everything up. Good. And oh, right. Windows 3.1 doesn't have a context menu. That's why. It doesn't use, so it doesn't use the secondary button. Windows 3.1 is mostly a single button interface. There's very little, if any, enablement for the secondary button. Let's see if I can, because there's no context menu. See, doesn't do anything. Yeah, that's right. And I think some applications use it, but Windows proper does not. So there you go. So like if I click on this bitmap file, it doesn't like come up with, hey, item size or whatever. It doesn't use it. So there you have it. The Logitech TrackMan Portable for your consideration. Pretty cool, huh? I think it's cool. I think it's great. There you go.